guys, and welcome to another Ablazing's unboxing of the King Kong flying egg, or if you are in China, the fly egg. First off, I would like to disclose that I received this for review, and I would like to thank Mew Mew and King Kong. However, this does not necessarily mean that I'm going to give you a biased opinion. I will give you my honest opinion no matter what. A good company will take my feedback and use it on improving their products. So let's start with unboxing, shall we? There's a nice clean presentation going on with this lunchbox type container. Let's see what we have inside here. These propeller guards come in handy when flying indoors, but you will do less damage to your furniture and surroundings, but you'll also end up with fewer broken props. Also, the parts that's supposed to bridge the prop guards together is flimsy and easy to get undone, so I suggest just leaving them off. Not only they include prop guards, but also these motor protectors. They actually look good as well, so I think I will use them, and because these motors are quite fragile. On one of the motors, the C-clip came loose and off went the bell and shaft. Upon further inspection, the shaft got bent a little and now it's unbalanced, so I recommend putting on these motor guards. It's for those who don't want to use the prop guards but still want some protection. King Kong has done a great job in providing us with these options. They give you two sets of their 1935 propellers. These are pretty good performance wise but quite fragile even with the propeller guards on. The props were still getting broken. I suggest switching to a different, more durable prop. However, there is little option for 1935 props, but thankfully HQ props 1935 are up to the task and are the best choice for me. Best thing about them are that they have similar performance to the King Kong's 1935 but are super durable. If you are looking to upgrade to a 2-inch propeller, then look no further than the Gemfan's 2035. Highly recommended. They also include some extra giant rubber bands for holding your batteries on board the Fly Egg. During flight, I noticed how wobbly it got when I used larger lipos, so I suggest either using the extra rubber bands or just swapping it out for a battery strap. I prefer using Velcro, but there's a giant hole under the bottom plate, which the receiver is occupying in currently. What I ended up doing was to use a Velcro battery strap and stuck some non-slip foam tape around the hole on the underside of the receiver, and it seems to work fine. They also give you a tool to pry the propellers off. It's a handy tool to have, especially for those propellers that seem to not want to part ways. Next is the 350 mAh 2S35C LiPo with the JST connector. The battery is sufficient enough, but I wanted to use the rest of my 2S LiPos, so I swapped it out for an XT30 connector. I will change the connector on the LiPo as well. Funny enough, they included a USB cable, and a fairly good quality one at that. So it's a good bonus. Thank you, King Kong. I've been wanting to get one of those. And of course, in every lunchbox, there should be an egg. The fly egg. Ain't he cute? He could be my pet and sit on my lap as I pat him like the evil villain on one of them James Bond films. So what components make up the fly egg? Well, it has 4 motors that look very different. They are King Kong 1103 7800 kV and are rated for 2S and 3S. The motors performed really well and made the fly egg quite enjoyable to fly. However, they are very fragile. It's very disappointing, but I do hear that the 130 fly egg 1105 motors fare much better. I may have had the worst luck with these motors because I have already broken 2 and one right after installing a replacement motor. So I'm going to just install a brand new set of different motors. I'll let you guys know how that goes. So anyway, let's see what else the fly egg is made of. Here we have the King Kong Pico BLX, which has an MPU 6000 gyro, and it also has an 4-in-1 10 amp ESC BLES. It says here it can do multi-shot and D-shot, but I have spoken with King Kong and have confirmed that in fact it can't do D-shot, unfortunately. But to be honest, it doesn't need D-shot because of the MPU 6000 gyro. It's the most vibration-free gyro on the market, and the soft-mounted FC helps with that also, so D-shot will just be overkill, thus you won't feel the benefits of D-shot on a low vibration quad. I can confirm this because the multi-shot felt like it was on D-shot 600 anyway. Look, if you really want D-shot, then you can try the D-shot fix for the original Pico BLX, where you have to edit the resources in CLI. Follow these instructions and I'll leave the link for the GitHub page if you really want D-shot, but it can only do up to D-shot 300. Let us know how you went in the comments, but for me, I'm happy to stay on multi-shot for now. Next we have the XM3 Sky receiver, which is sticking under here in this big gaping hole in the frame. There's also other receiver options such as Spectrum, FlySky and Futaba. Oh yeah, while we're here, I'd like to point out that they've only used 2 screws to mount the FC stack. I think it's great for soft mounting because it's less rigid, and also the less screws the better, because you'll have less sources of vibration to deal with. And it's perfectly okay to mount it in this way. I've had no problems. It also includes this tiny LED at the back. Pretty cool. It can be configured in Betaflight. The VTX is switchable 25mW or 100mW and has 16 channels. It's noted to have a transmission range of 600 to 800 meters. This is very impressive for such a small VTX. Another thing to point out is the VTX. If you notice, it's actually being pushed down by the standoff, and that will put pressure onto the flight controller, which makes it uneven. This is very bad for the FC and needs to be corrected immediately by getting the VTX antenna above the standoff. You will have to first unscrew and then thread the standoff between the antenna and the zip tie. This will take the pressure off and will correct the oversight. It's better to try and not put things on top of the FC, so if you can, find another place to mount the VTX. The camera is the CM231 800 TVL with 150 degrees lens. As you have seen, the picture quality is adequate, but the colors could be better, though it does surprisingly well in low light. It's able to see late into the day where other cameras are unflyable by this time, but the handling of shadows is really bad. You can't see any details whatsoever. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get footage on a bright sunny day. Shortly after getting the flight egg, I was able to get it up and flying line of sight out of the box, and I was pleasantly surprised at how well it flew with stock settings. The FPV flying is a different story, however, with a few issues that needed to be fixed before the flight egg can be made flyable in FPV. Hi guys, it's Ablazing, and today I'm going to show you how I fixed the noise and jello issues that I was having on the FPV feed the other day. The first mod we are going to do is to install an LC filter to get rid of most, if not all, of the noise. This tiny LC filter is from myrcmart.com. They have quite the number of LC filters to choose from, but this particular one is called the Super Micro. I've gone ahead and made sure the current that is going through the LC filter is under 1 amp. The VTX supply is 5 volts at only 200 mAh, so we are good to go. So now all we have to do is cut and sever the wires between the camera and the VTX. Then solder the wires to the corresponding pads on the LC filter. So from the VTX, solder the plus and negative wires to the voltage in pads, and then solder the wires from the camera to the out pads. After reading through the manual, I think I have found the reason why I've been getting this sort of white breakup even after I installed the LC filter. But More testing needs to be done to verify. However, by default, the VTX is on 100 milliwatts and it may be too much for such a short distance we are flying in, so to change to 25 milliwatt, we'll need to unbridge the two pads shown here. And that's it, all done with the noise. Now, let's get to the jello. Not that kind of J-Lo.
Jello, 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 jello,
Hello, hello, we downtown LA, ghetto. She got her ass on her pillow. Girl, shake that A, jello. 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 Jello.
The reason why I was getting so much jello is because of this cam mount and how it slots into the cam side plates via a small hole, which doesn't fit in perfectly. It's very loose, and the best way I've found is to use M2 O-rings, which does the job flawlessly. If you don't have these around, I'm sure there's another way, but I have not tried any other method as this worked the first time around. But please share if you found another way to fix this issue. So for the last mod, I've swapped out the JST pigtail for an XT30. It's pretty straightforward, but if you need help, there are plenty of YouTube videos available for you to watch. Before we conclude the review, I would like to take the time to thank the original frame that the fly egg and other similar frames were based upon. So, thank you DQUAD and the original designer for giving birth to one of the greatest frames of all time, the DQUAD Obsession. Without you, we wouldn't have all these other great frames like the fly egg. If you'd like to know more about this obsession, then I have put the links in the description. And by the way, I do happen to have this frame in my possession also, but I just haven't had the time. Perhaps if I get enough interest, then I will see about making a video, but let's get back to what's at hand, shall we? Okay, I'm going to be real honest and straightforward here because that's how we roll. At first, the fly egg seemed like the ultimate micro drone. I can see a lot of value here. King Kong has included a lot of extras in this bind and fly package. The flying was very enjoyable and I believe the handling was the best I've flown from a pre-built drone. Even on stock PID settings, it flew with quickness and agility and I was very happy with the performance. However, it all started to go pear-shaped when I first put on my FPV goggles. Immediately, I knew that work had to be done before we can get it to a flyable state for FPV. With all the flaws and the fragile nature of the motors, I can confidently say that this bind and fly is not worth your money. Say what? Is not worth your money. Say what? Yes, I said that. But don't you work for King Kong? No, I'm just a reviewer. Say what? I don't work for anybody. Say what? What? Say what? Say what? Whee! If you're someone who is new in the hobby and have just started out, or who isn't technically savvy enough to perform all of the necessary fixes and mods, then this drone is not for you. But if you're someone like me, then maybe you won't mind as much, but I'd imagine you wouldn't be too happy. If King Kong can sort out all of these problems, then I really think they will have a smash hit on their hands. The Fly Egg can become the best micro drone of 2017. The ball is in their court now, and I'm looking forward to see what they will do from here on out. This has been an Ablazing's review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on Facebook. See ya.